If you are a student or simply someone who wants to improve his overall productivity, you likely saw a lot of videos on YouTube about how to study for 10, 12 or even 16 hours a day. In this video I'm gonna talk about my experience because I followed this advice for a long time and it ruined my life in many aspects. Until I noticed that this is not the way to go for me, and likely neither for you.
Hey, my name is Niklas, I'm 23 years old and I'm currently working on my master's degree in pharmacy. Little disclaimer before this video starts, I am not rich, neither are my parents rich, nor am I a hyper performer or the most successful person around. So to begin with, my school times were easy. I did never struggle to get good grades, so for most of the time when I was in school I didn't have to struggle. I had little to no work to do in order to get good grades. This changed when I decided to study pharmacy. There was a ton to study for and I was literally overwhelmed by the number of assignments I had to do. When the year of 2020 happened, you know it, Corona hit, and that was the time that homeschooling actually became a thing. I was very disciplined at that time and I wanted to push through all exams as fast and as good as possible. I started to learn for 8 to sometimes around 10 hours a day, and I remembered that I kept this schedule of 8 to 10 hours of studying for almost 2 months. When I had spare time, I used the time to watch other creators who were telling me to study more, like how did I study 12 hours a day, and they just gave me the feeling that I didn't succeed enough and that I have to study more. And then I remembered the time when I finally passed all my exams. I was literally burnt out.
There I was, getting the good grades I had worked for, but the grades for my mental health, my social skills, my social environment, my family, my friends, oh, these grades were awful. I neglected my relationships with my friends and my family didn't see me except for some food breaks. After a while I suffered a slight kind of depression. I don't want to say depression because I don't want to play the term depression down. I felt bad, unmotivated, unhappy with my life. No real contact with friends, no contact to any form of females, nor having a girlfriend. Other people were having fun. Why did I not? Why do I have to suffer like this?
Fast forward to now, I managed to get out of my little depression and took some action to reduce the hours I was studying and finally get a life that I wanted. I nailed every exam without ever having to study more than 3 to 4 hours a day at max. I managed to improve my mental health, to improve relationships with my family as well as my friends, and overall I feel way better. Looking back, I know for myself where I had gone wrong. I don't agree with the videos that are out there who saying you to
study for 10 hours a day because that's the most productive thing you can do.
I don't like this take on productivity because out of my experience, at some point productivity is no longer beneficial to you but harms you.
In my opinion, and I know the hyperproductivity community is gonna roast me for this, studying for more than 4 hours a day is a complete waste of time and it's gonna harm you in the long term. The most important part of studying is not how much time you invest in studying, but how deep you can actually focus in the period that you are really studying. I know a lot of people who are studying all day for 8+ hours at the library or at university or at home, but trust me, 8 hours of studying isn't really 8 hours of concentrated productive work. Since we're all human beings to some degree, everyone has concentration limits. As Jordan Peterson says, and Jordan Peterson is one of the most intelligent people around.
It's also a very ineffective way of studying, by the way. I mean, first of all, people who cram for 10 hours say they're studying for 10 hours, but they rarely are because, well, I can't study for 10 hours. I don't have the power of concentration that would enable me to do that for that prolonged period of time.
If I try to study longer than 3 to 4 hours, I catch myself all the time doing different things, like pulling out my phone, thinking about what else I could do instead of studying, and so on. I'm sure you can relate.
The other problem with studying so intensively is that you totally neglect your social life. And this is what punched me in the liver. This is the product of not having a balanced schedule. When you study all the time, alone in your room, or you're at university, especially when you study alone in your room, you have no chats, no interactions, no social component to your learnings, you will, to some degree, lose the skill of interacting with people. I was in the same situation, and honestly, until now, I still struggle to keep up conversations with people, and yeah, I'm trying to improve, but for the most part, I think that not being social during my time of studying so intensively is the main cause of it. And I know some hyperproductivity mentors are gonna say, yeah, work your off in your 20s, don't party, don't have fun, and then you can enjoy your 30s. I agree with this statement to a certain degree, but what I don't agree with is that you have to work all the time. But life is more than just work. Your 20s are also beneficial for you developing friends, developing the relationships. How are you gonna share your success in your 30s when you have literally no people around you? Social skills are a must requirement for a successful career, because these skills are essential for real life interactions that you will need to find a job and that you will need to survive, to be honest.
What if I just went on, studied for 2 more years like a freaking maniac and then graduated? I would stand in front of my university with my nice degree and be unable to compensate that I had nothing left to study for. Then your work life is just starting out. How do I get a job? Having a job interview? But how do I even speak to the manager? People are getting kids and I question myself, like, how do I even approach girls?
I think you get my point. Overindulging on productivity is not necessarily a good thing. Although productivity itself is a very good thing, and I agree with it, and I motivate you to be productive for the most part of your day. But what works for myself, and I think will work also for other people, is that productivity is not the only thing you have to focus. In my experience, to get the most out of all areas, be it social relations, be it career, be it friends, family, whatever you name it, is to find a balance. If you want to study effectively, then one of the next videos will gonna help you. I will show you how I learn 3 to 4 hours a day and ace every exam. Thank you very much for watching this video. I know it's quite an unusual background here, but I thought for this video I'm gonna try to do the opposite of what I usually would do related to this topic. It is to be in my room and actually study, but now I'm in the nature. And yeah, I hope you like this video. If you like this video, give it a like, comment down below if you have any video ideas what I should do in the next videos. Alright, catch you up in the next one. See you!